Good morning, 6th grade. I'm guessing it's morning. My kids like to get their schoolwork done in the morning, but I guess it could be afternoon. This video is our first video talking about our writer's workshop. It's a 2-week guided project doing a research report on a historical place. So the important thing for you to remember in this is that you need to watch the videos. So it says here, you must watch the video for each goal. So I will be giving you a video, and the goals I'll talk about in a second. But you'll have a video for each one that will help you to know what to do, help your parents to know how to help you. So I say here, the videos will be important for you to understand the assignment. I want it to be something that each of you is able to do with success. So I'm not going to say, go write a research paper, bring it back to me when you're done, because that's too hard. That's not what school is about. When you're in 6th grade, your job is to learn how to do those things. So my goal is to help you learn how to write a research report and to make it more streamlined. We're focusing. So that's why we're focusing on a historical place. I'm going to give you some ideas of places that I think would be good for you to use. And we'll learn how to go about doing all of that research when we're not in the classroom where I can give you things. So after today, before you watch the next video, which you're scheduled to watch, I think on Wednesday, but it could be Tuesday, I can't remember. But the next thing for you to watch will be on finding research, finding good places to research, and then beginning to take your notes. So today, I say it's important that you or a parent tell me the name of the place you have chosen before you begin research. I will check in with you and make sure you have the resources you need to find the information for your report. So I will help you find the things that you need so you can do this. A list of appropriate places is provided. So you'll have that in this packet. Okay, so for this week 1, these are our goals. So these are what your videos will be on. Study a report example, which we will do, and choose your topic, which I will let you then do on your own. And then you'll just let me know what that topic is. Our next video will be on finding resources and how to fill out our note page. And then finally, it'll be on filling in the outline page, which will help you to make your report writing really easy. And I've worked to make both of these things as the note page and the outline page. I've worked hard to make them be as streamlined as possible to help you be guided so that someday you could do this on your own without any guidance. You would be able to produce a research report on something without having so much support from a teacher. So that's the goal. So today, let's go ahead and work on what we're doing here. Studying a report example. So today won't require as much work outside of the video. Today's time is mostly in watching the video. Okay, so this might not be perfect. It might have some little mistakes that I made along the way. However, it will give you a good idea of the things I'm expecting. So obviously this is typed, and it's typed in the format that we like for typing. And we'll talk about that next week when we actually get to writing it. But just so you know. So name and date and writer's workshop, and then this title is example report. Yours would be research report. So Gettysburg National Military Park is the place that I'm using. And I borrowed most of this from our English workbook. Chapter 8 talks about how to write a research report, and I've pulled the stuff from that for us to use because it made it more streamlined, which was good for me too because, research report could go all kinds of directions. So we're going to be focused on a place. So the place for my example is Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm going to read through this. So this is the introduction, and you'll notice that it will have a hook and It'll tell what things are going to be talked about in the essay, and then it has a clincher. That's the thesis statement. Okay. When someone stands in the place where monumental events have occurred, it is often a time where great learning and appreciation can happen. See, I'm already finding things to fix when I read my own work. So that is my hook. You can steal that hook. Perfectly fine. One such place of importance is Gettysburg National Military Park in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. You can steal that too. You just put in your places. This park can appear to be simply a lovely park with its rolling hills and valleys, trees, and physical monuments. However, and actually I might change this to a lovely place. However, this is the location of the largest battle of the Civil War, where thousands of American soldiers lost their lives. It is also where a president made a very famous speech. Today, this national park serves as a reminder to all who visit of the sacrifices made for the freedoms we enjoy today. You can almost use this too when you write your thesis statement. It can be very similar to this. You may not have a national park in yours, but whatever it is that you're talking about could fit there. I didn't say before, but you should have this in front of you. So if you don't have this in front of you, pause and get it. And then please make notes of the things that I make notes on. So the things I've crossed out, fix those things because that will make it easier for you later. And you'll get to see that process of how I'm reading through my work and I'm finding my own mistakes. Because no matter how good we are, we all make mistakes, and we often are good at catching things when we read through it. Okay, so that was my introduction. Notice it talks about the place and a little bit about it, and you'll find that when you're taking your notes and doing your outline that I ask you to do that. And then I say that it's the location of the largest battle of the Civil War, and that it's where a president made a famous speech. So I'm going to talk about 2 historic events. You will have the option of only talking about one historic event. Okay, so you'll all have an introduction, very similar to this. And then your next paragraph will be about an event that happened at your site. What historic event? Gettysburg was the site of the largest battle of the Civil War. That's my topic sentence. In July of 1863, General Robert E. Lee was commanding Southern troops. The Northern Army was controlled by George Gordon Meade. The 2 armies met near the town of Gettysburg and fought for 3 days. Finally, the battle ended with Pickett's charge. Southern General George E. Pickett led about 15,000 men over Cemetery Ridge, and the Northern soldiers opened fire and drove them back. Although the North won the battle, more than 45,000 men from both sides were killed, wounded, or captured. This battle in our country's fight for freedom for American slaves is important for us to remember. So there's my clincher. So that's a paragraph about, and you can write this on the side, one historical event. So that's one historical event. This was my intro. And then my next paragraph is about another historical event. And so for you, this second paragraph is optional. So as you're researching your place, you might find that there were several major events that happened at your location, and you might want to pick 2. I don't even mind if you want to do 3. That would just add another paragraph. But you only have to do 1. Okay? So this talks about the Gettysburg Address, which was another major event that happened. And I'm not going to read through this paragraph right now, but you can read through it on your own. We'll go through this again next week when we talk about writing your report. Okay? And then this other paragraph that everybody will have is the place today. So the place that you're researching, what is it like today? And if you'll notice in my introduction, I talked about that here. Today, it serves as a reminder. Okay. So, today the Gettysburg National Military Park keeps the memory of these historic events alive. The park has over 1,400 monuments and memorials to the battle. Part of the park is a cemetery to honor the soldiers who have died in the Civil War and in other wars. Visitors can walk around the park and learn about what happened there, including seeing the museum that holds artifacts, weapons, and uniforms from the Civil War. Visiting this park is a tremendous opportunity. So notice I have my topic sentence there and my clincher for that paragraph. So all of those things still hold. Remember we talked about earlier this year before we got sent home that anytime you're asked to write a paragraph, you should have a topic sentence and a clincher. Whether the person asks for it or not, it's a great way to show that you know how to organize your thoughts. To have a topic sentence and your clincher, your closing sentence. Okay. Then finally you'll have a conclusion. So this will be either a 4-paragraph essay, a 4-paragraph report, or a 5-paragraph report, depending on if you write about one event or 2. So mine has 5 because I talk about 2 events and the place today. So that gives me 3 body paragraphs. 2 events and what it's like today. But you could do 1 event and what it's like today, and you'd have 4 paragraphs. Okay, and then my conclusion is here. Gettysburg National Military Park is dedicated to preserving some important events in American history. The Battle of Gettysburg and the Gettysburg Address are 2 major events that can be learned about when visitors come to the park. Places like this give Americans a chance to reflect on the freedom that God has granted our nation and remind us of the importance of equality amongst all people. So I have my restatement of my thesis statement that it's dedicated to preserving things. And then I talk about those historical events and about people can visit the park. So it talks about, well, this sentence kind of covers the events and that you can visit the park today. And then I have my clincher. Places like this give Americans, so this, even this is very generic. It could be used for lots of places. If you're looking in the United States and studying places in the United States, this could be used. And if you're not using somewhere in the United States, then you can easily, switch some of these things around or, use it as a guide for that feeling that sentence gives. This sentence gives a feeling that I'm done talking. I'm not going to share anymore. Without saying, that's the end of my report. I sure hope you liked it. Like, we don't write things like that. So we want somebody to get that feeling that the report is coming to a close without somebody saying, this is the end of the report, goodbye, because that's kind of boring and obvious. Okay, the good part for this week is you don't have to worry about all of this. You don't have to worry about writing an essay. You don't have to worry about having all of your sentences and all of that stuff. So today is meant to be an overview to help you get ready. But this week you don't have to worry about that. And today you don't have to worry about that. What I would like you to do today is to take the list that you have of places that you could research and see if there's something that strikes your interest. What will be important is when you start to research. If you start to research before you watch my next video, because my next video I'm going to talk about it more, but when you research, be sure to type in the name of the place, okay? So name of place, and then also put like for kids or history for kids. This is important. So if you start to research online, have a parent with you, please. It's important. Okay, have a parent with you or have them there knowing what you're doing. Somebody needs to know that you're looking online for information. Okay, the stuff that happened at these places is not all rated PG. Okay, some horrible things happened at some of these places, and you don't need to know all of the deep, dark things. So we're just looking at the event and some of that bigger stuff about it. That's more appropriate for your age. Someday when you're older, you can look at more in depth at some of those events. But for now, you don't need to. So please, please respect what I'm telling you. Have help from a parent when you're researching. You type in the name of the place and then doing something like this, for kids, history for kids, then you're going to get websites that are dedicated to giving appropriate amounts of information to students that are not adults or high schoolers. Because that's a very big difference in the kind of information that you're going to get. Okay? So be sure you let me know what you've chosen. And then your next video will talk about getting some research on those things and how to take notes from our research. Okay? So have a great day, and I hope that you find something to study that you are excited about. Bye.